Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, man, as a longtime Campagnolo user, I am super excited to hear about the much improved Campagnolo Super Record 13-speed wireless system. I have been a Campagnolo user since the days of 8-speed, and there has been a lot of good and a lot of bad with the system. And I've become fairly familiar with the system. In fact, I'd go so far as to call myself a Campagnolo apologist. I currently have Campagnolo EPS 12-speed, both rim brake and disc brake. Also record 12-speed mechanical, super record 11-speed mechanical. I even have a 10-speed down tube index shifting system in a box just waiting for the proper vintage project to come along for me to be able to make that thing a reality. I think that would be a really sweet riding bike. But like I said, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad with the system, and I've become fairly familiar with it. And I hear a lot of conversations, and I even get a lot of comments oftentimes by people who have an opinion about it without really having an opportunity to experience it. When it comes to the mechanical group set, those group sets are very easy, very intuitive to use and set up, and they perform flawlessly. Yes, you have to do the typical upkeep of your system, but no more or no less than any other system. But I will say that when it comes to the EPS system, not only is it a pain in the butt to set up, and the app I would say it's like the worst designed app when it comes to cycling components and group sets that I have ever had to deal with. There's nothing intuitive about it. It's hit or miss whether or not you actually get the app to engage with the interface system. And it's just a really frustrating thing to deal with when it comes to EPS. Not to mention that the system of running the wires through the bike, it can actually take a little bit of, well, a lot of patience to be able to get it done the right way. But once you have EPS set up properly, you've gotten into the app, you have zero set your system, it works better than both Shimano Dura-Ace Di2 12-speed, and it also works better than the SRAM Red and 4 system that I have ridden. That's not me being biased, because after I dealt with the app, I was really hating the system. But riding the bike, it's like this thing shifts and works so good. So let's talk about some of the things that we do know about the new 13-speed wireless system, because cyclingnews.com has posted spy photos and is being ridden openly in the current 2025 Giro d'Italia by Team Cofidis. And as part of my rumor mill, I know people who have had their hands on it, and I know people who have actually spoken to folks who have actually ridden the system, and the feedback that I have heard is that the system is, the words that they have used is revolutionary, game-changing, and the potential to put Campy back on the map. So let's talk about what the system looks like and what we know about it so far. Number one, the thumb shifter is back. I'll talk more about this in a minute. This isn't just a traditional thing. It is very much part of the ergonomics and shift logic that made the system stand out. Its function is what made it iconic. Number two, the brake hood seemed to have had a more gradual upward tilt, which is a welcome change. I think this closes the ergonomic gap Shimano had on it. Number three, the derailleur pairs have been on quite a diet, more sculpted and a lot more elegant than the 12-speed wireless system. This was really important because the beauty of that rear derailleur was always a feature that really added to the appeal of Campy systems. Number four, there are additional function buttons that seem set for system integration and third-party component control. Under the title of what I don't know is anything regarding the batteries. I'm going to share 3 things that I think Campagnolo needs to do to not only be able to survive in this current cycling climate, but to be able to thrive as well. Number one, I think that new 13-speed wireless system needs to have the ability to go one by. Given the way how drivetrains are being built, the way how people are using their bikes, and the diversity or the crossover of different cycling applications, one by needs to be a possibility. Number two, Ekar needs to come out with its own electronic system. When Ekar was launched, it was lauded. I've heard good things and bad things about it. I've never ridden it, so I can't say with any degree of certainty or conviction. But when people were expecting an upgrade from Ekar, what happened was they came out with Ekar GT or Ekar S. I don't even know what the difference is between that and a regular Ekar, but that was certainly a missed opportunity. And the third thing that Campagnolo needs to do is I think they need to simplify their system into 3 tiers for road bikes, have a corresponding price structure for them, and let that be it. So I think they should go super record, record, chorus. Boom, you're done. No Athena, no Veloce, no extra stuff. Just keep it really simple, because that's kind of like those 3-tier system I think is really easy to understand and explain, and the application of it should follow suit in terms of making sure that people have a simple point of entry into the family with the group set. And if they want to expand and build up from there, they know exactly what direction they need to go in. Those are my thoughts on the system. Now, recently, Shoddy Dave from Velo did a video where he spent some time, I think he had his hands on this new system, or he had an opportunity to have a conversation with what some of the guys at Campagnolo, and just the direction that he was saying the new blood in the company is seemingly wanting to take things. They've had a little bit of a house cleaning where they've gotten rid of some of the not right Campagnolo thinking. Like, for example, whoever came up with the idea of getting rid of the thumb shifter, man, that's bad juju. So much I could say about that. But, you know, the thumb shifter, going back to when we started going to Brifters, the thumb shifter, not only was it iconic, but it was the thing that made Campagnolo distinguish itself quality, ergonomically, and aesthetically away from Shimano. That initial Shimano Brifter system was ugly as heck. I didn't want to buy it, and I was running Dura Ace down tube shifters at the time. And when I saw that system with the cables coming out of the top and going into the shifter bosses, I was like, no, I don't want that on my bike, especially because Campagnolo managed to engineer a way to run the shifter cables underneath the bar tape into the shifter bosses. It was a much more cleaner application. That was all part of the transition that we made, where a lot of people went to Campagnolo. Some people even used Sachs. That was a group set manufacturer that is no longer around, because they also had the thumb shifter. So yeah, it's not just like an iconic thing. It was something that it made sense and helped with the transition of the intuitiveness of the group sets at that time, from shifting in one direction to go up the cassette, shifting in another direction to go down the cassette. So anyway, that's all I think I'm going to say about that. I think I've said a lot, and I think that's where I'm going to leave it. As always, let your voices be heard in the comment section below. Thank you for continuing to support our channel by watching these videos, liking, commenting, and subscribing. As always, our aim here is to inform, instruct, inspire. Be blessed.